Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As you may have heard, I'm going to try to read as much as I can up till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perhaps puts me to sleep or something of that sort. I'm going to try to read the Quran in 7 days again, inshallah, but this time I'm going to try to break down as much as I can along the way. And I just did chapter 1. It's 7 verses and it took me 45 minutes, alhamdulillah. But what I learned in those 45 minutes in depth for the root words and what it could mean, just one word in each ayat, what it could mean is just absolutely insane at the type of knowledge you can get from studying the Arabic. Okay. Let's go with Surah Al-Baqarah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Starts off with Alif Lam Mim. What does it mean? In pain, suffered pain, express pain, grief, sorrow, lament. Okay. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين or متقين. Okay. That ذلك means that. Kitabu, okay, that is the book. So what is the root word for that, or root letters? Khaf ta bah. He wrote it. To dictate it, prescribe, appoint, ordain, judged, past sentence, decreed, drew, brought together, collected, conjoined, bound, he sewed it. What is written of law, mode, manner of writing, book, seller, a thing in which or which one writes, record, register, writ, revealed, scripture, a writer, scribe, secretary, an army, military, force, or troop. Okay. What was this before that? It was Alif Lam Mim. The ayat before this is talking about the pain, suffering. Okay, pain and suffering. The next one says, he wrote it, dictate it, prescribed, appoint, ordained, judged, passed, sentenced, decreed, drew, brought together, collected, conjoined, bound, he sewed it. What is written of law, mode, manner of writing, bookseller. He was a bookseller. Okay, a thing in which or on which one writes, record, register, writ, revealed, scripture, a writer, scribe, secretary, an army, military force, troop. Okay. That is the book. La reba, la means no. La reba. That is the book. Reba, okay. Ra yah bah. To make uncertain, cast one into doubt. Comedy. Suspicion, disturb, cause doubt, cause uneasiness of mind, cause affliction, create evil opinion, make a false charge. Okay, so these are the things we're not supposed to be feeling towards the book, the Hudan, okay, the guidance from the Lord upon also the one whom brought it. Okay. It says these are things you're not, well, if this is what all the words mean, so these are the things that we shouldn't have as a feeling towards the book. We shouldn't feel uncertain regarding its words or regarding anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said to us in his message in the Quran, or to cast one into doubt. So don't, put yourselves into doubt or even make anyone else into doubt. Okay, suspicion. Okay, so don't be suspicious towards these words either. To be questioned in terms of to seek information and knowledge is one thing, and to be suspicious is another. Like like being conspicuous or being someone who is, going to be like, oh, maybe that these words were copied, or something of that sort. When we should know that it was always the Lord who was always sending scriptures, or sometimes man would add on their falsehood, right? But of course we know the Quran is something that is in perfect mint condition. Okay. So, to disturb, okay, cause doubt, cause uneasiness of the mind, cause affliction, create an evil opinion. So even regarding the book, do not create an evil opinion or to make a false charge. Like, okay, this book, astaghfirullah. Don't be like those who don't know anything about it and you're creating a false charge and you don't even know nothing about the book, right? That is the book. No doubt. So we did rayba already. Fihi. What does it mean? The root letters are fa, yah, fi. Preposition which points to cause, space, or time. Okay, that is the book which has no doubt. Preposition which points to cause, space, or time. In it. In, into, amongst, in company with. During, with, in it. Amongst, in company with. During, with, of, for the sake of, upon, concerning, after, in comparison, about, among, on account of, respecting, by, the side of, on, by, against, according to, in respect of. So it means in it, which means one of the meanings of it is space or time. In the word fihi, right? It's kind of interesting because this is for the remainder of the time period as well. So it's remainder of time. Okay. Cool. Doubt in it. Hudan means a guidance, right? But where does it come from? It comes from ha, dal, yah. To guide, direct to the way, take, follow, right way, course. We did this one already. Rightly guided, directed, away, course, gift, method, manner of conduct. So hudan, okay, doubt in it. A guidance, this is what? A guidance for the, okay, let's see. Lil muttaqeen, well, khaf, yeah. To protect, save, okay, to protect, okay, to protect, save, preserve, ward off. Let's talk about the God-conscious people, right? So They want to protect themselves, of course, from what? From the wrath of Allah, from the day of judgment. So they want to be saved. They want to be preserved. They want to ward off what? Because they want to ward off and guard against evil and calamity. They want to be secure. And of course, what else? Take as a shield, regard the duty, muttaqi, one who guard against evil and against that which harms and injures, and is regardful of his duty towards human beings and God. Okay, so wow, you have to guard one muttaqi. Wow, one who guards against evil and against that which harms and injures. So you also have to be somebody who guards themselves against evil. So so this is actually what it also means to be a believer or a believing woman or a believing man. When they see the evil occurring or they know that the evil is occurring, that's when you need to leave. You need to just get yourself out of that mess, because they will invite you to that evil, into that Jahannam. Allahu Akbar. So one who guards against evil and against that which harms and injures. Okay, so if you're it could be the most dearest people of all and in the planet, and they're harming themselves. One, you have to, like, suppose you're doing drugs or something, and like, or doing everything that's against the commandments of Allah, and they're doing it to themselves, but you, one, are guarding yourself against the evil of that which they're doing, because that is evil. If you're not listening to Allah, whatever it is that you're doing is evil. And you're guarding against that which is harmful. So suppose if that's, somebody's taking on drugs, then that is harmful. And, it's harmful to you too, because you're around that influence. And it injures. Okay, harms and injures. So that is also injuring, because how is it injuring? Multiple things. Loss of time, loss of productivity, loss of mannerism, loss of iman, because you're going totally off the path. You're done, like, and injures. Okay, so, and is regardful of his duty towards human beings and God. So how though? Because now, Allahu Akbar, because your duty is towards, in terms of amila salihati, your other part to worship is that you're supposed to do the amila salihati, that you're supposed to go ahead and do the zakah, you're supposed to be in good mannerism, you're supposed to be kind and gentle, and like all of these things. So you would have to guard yourself against these people, and who are causing themselves to be evil in their actions and in their harming ways, and they're injuring to themselves, because they're self-destructive. And that's what Allah means when what's it called, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you they're gonna take you too. You understand? They're gonna take you too. Allahu Akbar. So oh my goodness. Oh, what the truck? Okay, what the truck? What the truck? Truck means heavy load, okay? For me, don't think of anything else. Wow, for the God conscious. So now I have to save this, because this is important. Oh boy. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. What does alladina mean? Those who yu'minuna believe, right? Okay, so what is that root word though? Yu'minuna comes from the root letters alif, lam, mim. Alif, mim, noon. Become, feel, safe, secure, state of security, safety, trust, become quiet, tranquil in heart, mind. Okay, both. Wow. Those who. Okay, we were studying what word you mean now. Okay. Alif lam. Okay, so alif. I keep saying alif lam. Alif mim noon. You mean noon. You me you me noon. Okay. Become, feel, safe, secure, state of security, safety, trust, become quiet, tranquil in the heart and mind. Okay. Become quiet. All right. Those who become quiet. Nice. They feel safe or secure. With who? With their Lord. Okay, with their Lord. State of security, trust. They trust their Lord too. They become quiet, like, soft, gentle, all that. Tranquil in heart and mind. They have that tranquility, peace in their heart and mind. Become free of expectation of evil. Become free of expectation of evil. Or free of an object of dislike, hatred. Free of an object of dislike or hatred. Okay. Promise. Okay, what does that mean? Let's go back. Become free of expectation of evil. Okay, so it's kind of like they've freed themselves from the expecting of evil. Like, what does that mean? Like that. Okay, the despair that comes from when Iblis will put, okay, you'll have loss of shelter, loss of food, you're going to be harmed. Allahu Akbar. Become free of expectation of evil, or free of an object of dislike or hatred. So they don't care about the dislike or hatred towards them anymore. Promise, assurance of security, safety. Become trustful, faithful, confident. Wow, confident. To believe, acknowledge it. Manifestation of humility and submission. Allahu Akbar. Okay. Yu'minuna. This is perfect. Why haven't I done this before? I started off and then it took me believe. Okay. Those who believe, but in what, right? In the unseen, but let's go into deeper. Ghain ya ba. Absent, remote. Okay, the absent, the remote. Okay, the hidden, the concealed, the absent from the range or beyond the reach of perception by sense or of mental perception. Unseen, invisible. Okay. Those who believe in the unseen. Okay. Okay. Those who don't. Okay, so this would be more of like the don't factor. Okay. Those who don't slander, backbite. Okay. Now going back, what's it called? The hidden reality, the absent one. Okay, this is... Okay, let's see. If I want to read the full names, lexicon entry, please click here. I clicked it. There, where isn't it going? Alright, anyways. So, absent, remote, hidden, concealed. Beyond the reach of perception. So it's kind of like it's not perceivable to us. So those who believe are believing in the ghaib isn't in their perception. It it's not perceivable, but it is the hidden reality, and it is the concealed by Allah, which means that He has concealed that portion of reality. Okay. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ. Okay. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. What does وَيُقِيمُونَ mean? And establish, stand, still, firm, rose. Okay. Khaf, it comes from, let's go back, comes from وَيُقِيمُونَ, which means from the root letters khaf, waw, mim. It means stand still, or firm, or rose, or stand up. Khaf, right? Managed, conducted, ordered, regulated, superintended, established, made it straight, right. Maintain, erect, observe, perform, set up, people, community, company, abode, stature, dignity, rank, akama, to keep a thing or an affair in a right state. Now, okay, those who believe in unseen and establish. So, what are they really establishing? They are standing firm, stand still, okay, or firm, or rose. Okay, rose for what? We're going to see in the next word, it's for salah, right? But stand up, managed, we're going to go back and repeat, managed, or conducted, ordered, regulated, superintended, established, made it straight, right, maintain, erect, which means to stand right, observe or perform, set up, people, community, company. So it could even be like, when you are ordered to also stand with those who bow and prostrate. So it's actually also setting up that type of community or company as well to be able to perform that, right? Or and by doing this, by those whom stand up, that is a performance where you are given stature, dignity, and rank at Kamat to keep a thing or an affair in a right state. Okay, so by doing that, and establishing that, what's it called? If you are of those whom are establishing that also amongst your community, amongst your people, you are given a rank. You are one who has that dignity or rank upon you. And then there's salat. Okay, what is the prayer? Okay, it comes from the word the root letters sad, lam, waw. Okay, it means prayer, supplication, petition. Allahu Akbar. I've heard this before from the Gospel of Enoch, when Enoch went ahead and petitioned on behalf of wow. Oration, eulogy, benediction, commendation, blessing, honor, magnify, bring forth, follow closely, walk, follow behind closely, to remain attached. In a horse race, when the second horse follows the first one so closely that its head always overlaps the first horse's body, that horse is called a al-musalli. The one who follows closely remains attached. Central portion of the back. Okay, central portion of the back. Portion from where the tail of an animal comes out. The rump. Those whom follow closely. Okay. The tail of an animal which comes out from the back. Okay. Alright. So, I mean, okay. So basically, this just means, well, not just means, but it means one whom prays, one whom supplicates, one whom petitions to the Lord. What's it called? Seeks the blessings, gives the honor to the Lord, magnifies, brings forth, follows closely, stays attached to their Lord, and follows very, very closely. Like, okay. So that's that. What does وَمِمَّا mean? Okay, there's no, it just means. And out of what? وَمِمَّا, and out of what? رَزَقْنَاهُمْ. Okay, here's also a word that Urdu speaking individuals will understand, or you know, what's it called? رَزَقْنَاهُمْ would come also rizq, or razak, or so let's look at what this word in letters B. Ra, zay, khaf. Okay, which means to provide, supply, bestow, grant, means of subsistence. Turzakhan, you both shall be supplied. Allahu Akbar. Rizq, bounty, gift, portion, share. Razik, one who provides or supplies. Razak, great provider or supplier. Okay, so to come back to its singular, or for this particular ayat, it is Allah subhanahu. Okay, so one whom spends out of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides them, or in other words, supplies them, or bestows them, or grants them, okay, in terms of the means of subsistence, right? Where you shall both be supplied. So it could be, you know, for example, Adam and his wife, okay, in that manner, right? So both of you shall be supplied. And then it's a bounty, or a gift, or a portion, or a share of the dunya, right? The inheritors of the earth, for example, right? Bismillah. Again. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُؤْقِنُونَ. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some strength in it. Okay. Oh boy. Now. Okay. Before I already read that ayat, but I didn't realize I didn't go over the word yunfikun. So we just read. Let's go back to the previous ayat. We just read. Excuse me. The ayat we just covered was Surah number 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 3, verse number 3, which is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim again. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. We just covered the word رزقناهم, which essentially means we have provided them, and I gave you all the, what the root letters would or could mean. And the last word that we didn't cover was yunfikuna, which means essentially they spend, but we're going to see what the root word is, or the root letter, sorry. It is nun fa khaf. And what does it essentially, what could it mean? It can mean to be sellable, to come out of a hole, be exhausted, store, consumed, spent, expenditure, to enter into another hole where there is another outlet. So is a hypocrite who possesses or professes to believe first one thing and then another, thus entering faith through one door and leaving it through another. Okay, what is it? We provided them, we spend, and out of what we have provided them, they spend. Okay, to be saleable, to come out of a hole, to be exhausted, to store, consumed, spent, expenditure, to enter into another hole where there is another outlet. So is a hypocrite who refuses to believe first one thing and then another. Who professes to believe first one thing and then another. Okay, so it's very interesting how one of the meanings of this is also to be exhausted, as in to store. So it's not only giving you to spend, but it's also teaching you in this very word, if my eyes have the understanding of it to be in accuracy, to be correct in the manner that I am understanding it in, it's not only telling you to, for those who spend out of what they've been given, but it's also telling you that very same root letters to store. To store. So it's be exhausted, which means to store as well, to save in a way. It's kind of crazy. But then it's also talking about what is another meaning that it could have, which is something about, so is a hypocrite who professes to believe first one thing and then another. So what is it supposed to mean? If it could be applied in another ayat, entering through faith in one door, leaving it through another. Okay, this is actually so interesting, because to connect to from this ayat of the Quran to Gospel of Isaiah, it says how people speak out of their nostrils, which means that they say one thing and then they mean another. Okay, so they're not really talking with validity. And I mean, I myself, that being honest as it is, was called, I'm sure people have had this occur to them once in their life, when they they said something but they weren't able to do it. They just weren't able to do it, and it turned out to be something that is not your like your word. Okay, and of course this type of influence would happen if you have those type of people that you're not supposed to have around you, even if they are closely related to you. You understand? I'm not going to go off topic now. Okay, so coming back to the original. Okay, now we are on ayat number 4, which I had already read, but I'll repeat it again just because. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Okay. وَالَّذِينَ means, and those who. Okay, and those who. وَالَّذِينَ. So strange, because I hear the word deen in وَالَّذِينَ, so the people, I guess, of faith. Wa Alladina. Faith in Allah. Even look, Allah is in the word wa alladina. Alladhina. Maybe this is just a transliteration. I'm seeing the word Allah, or I'm hearing the word Allah. Dina, or on, and those who are on the path of Allah, even look on the Iman of Allah. Allah Dina. Allah Dina. Allah's Deen. Allahu Akbar. Wa Allah Dina. And those who yu'minuna, believe. Yu'minun. Yu'minuna. Okay, believe. I gotta find something interesting there. It's the root letters Alif, Mim, Nun. Okay. It means, again, become, feel safe, secure, state of security, safety, trust, become quiet, tranquil in heart and mind, become free of expectation. We've already done this, so we're going to skip over this root letters. What are we going to go on to? And those who are, again, they have that, I guess I'm going to repeat it a little bit. They've become quiet, they've become tranquil in the heart and the mind, they become free of expectation from the evil, or free of an object of dislike or hatred. They've just really become those whom the end, right, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says as the last message to the believers, forgive them till the last day. You've just really detached yourself from the dunya and all the evil that's occurring and all the evil that's happening. You've just really become somebody merciful, because guess what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of the rest. You might never want to forgive the people who put all this torture, upon you and inflicted you. And Allah is the best of accountants, and He, won't probably do it either, because injustice to you is not a part of what He ever wanted. But at the end of the day, if that person makes corrections, remember, and seeks that forgiveness in their mannerism, in their conduct, then of course, if you were in that person's shoes, and it wouldn't be anyways, but if they were in that person's shoes and you've rectified yourself and you've sought forgiveness, and you yourself wouldn't want to be seeing anyone in Jahannam really for eternity. So nothing's really worth seeing anyone in the universe, for something that might be the smallest of things in the shortest of time periods that has caused you pain. You're sad, but really, I used to think of this growing up. Of course, the punishment is there, and it will be, but I think because our Lord has compassion and mercy within Him, there is also compassion and mercy that He put into our hearts as well. You understand, it went to the Christians in most of manners, because they said that in their hearts were totally filled with compassion and mercy. But another way to understand this is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He's reprimanding us when we are still falling and still being compassionate and loving to those whom are even hurting us with their hands and their speech, their speech and their hands, and we're still being compassionate towards them, and we still love them, but we can't guide them. So even in that manner, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reprimanding us too when we do such a thing like that, because we don't want to see especially our loved ones go to, or go off the right path, which will take themselves into Jahannam, or in the state of Jahannam, and then of course perhaps into Jahannam. Allahu Alam. So in that mannerism, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also goes on to say, and that or thus whom you love the most in this world, you cannot even guide that person. Allahu Akbar for such, and it has to hit people's mind at some point, inclusive to mine. Oh boy. So, that's that, and okay, moving forward. And those who believe in what bina means, okay, let's just say bina does mean in what unzila is sent down. Okay, nun zay lam, to descend, come down, go down. Just remember Jibreel al-Islam, he came down from the heavens. This is in it took him, oh my goodness, what's it called? Almost like forever to come down, according to the description in the Quran about how long it took him down to bring down, the Quran, and every single time he would come and every single time he would go. It doesn't say how every single time he would go and every single time he would come, but it talks about it in the Quran in terms of the process of coming down. To descend, come down, go down, happen, alight at, settle in a place, lodge, anzala, to send down, give, nizalun, that which is prepared for a guest entertainment. Okay, alright. Abode, gift, manzil, mansion, cool. Manzil, okay, mansion, station. Nazzala, to cause, to descend, send down, tanzil, sending down divine revelation, okay, orderly arrangement, and authentic compilation, gradual revelation. Allahu Akbar. Isn't this all, though, describing really, how it really came down? Like, it was sent down. It is a divine revelation. It was in an orderly arrangement. It was authentically compiled, and it was in the form of gradual revelation. That's exactly all the meanings of how it all occurred. It tells you how it happened, what happened, and it explains to you just in Unzila. Okay, so the letters were Nun, Zay, Lam. Okay, that I just read all the words for. من قبلك وبالآخرات هم يؤمنون. Min means from. Inshallah, that's the case. Okay, so unzila min was sent down from قبلك, before you. Okay, sent down to you. So it's talking about this kitab. So prior to that, we are reading unzila ilayka wa ma. Okay. Alright, let's start again. This is Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 4. وَالَّذِينَ means, and those who يُؤْمِنُونَ, believe, bima, in what unzila is sent down, ilayka, to you. So it's talking about the Quran, okay, to you. Wama, and what unzila was sent down, okay, min, from, qablika, before you, wa bil akhirati, and in the hereafter, whom they yukinuna, firmly believe. Okay, so we're going to go back to the last word we broke down was the word unzila. We stopped at is sent down, because we talk about the Quran and it's and sent down. So we're going to see what ilayka means. Ilayka, like I said prior to, means inshallah, to you. Wama, and what? Okay, hopefully it means and what. Oh, sorry. And what? Again, it comes down to unzila. Again, in the same process, right? So we're understanding that the scriptures were sent in the same mannerism. Okay? Before as well. Inshallah. That's such a case, inshallah. Okay. Min, from, should inshallah mean from. Khablika, before you. So this word, before you, the root letters are khaf, ba, lam. It means to accept, admit, receive, agree, meet anyone. To face, encounter someone or something. Advance, approach, correspond, counteract, compare, requite, compensate. The front part, accept with approval, show favor. Okay, before or formally, the fore part, face to face, plural. Okay, qabli him. Qabli him, to accept, admit, receive, agree. So this is kind of interesting because, where it says meet anyone, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam met with Jibreel alayhi salam, peace be upon him. He faced him. He encountered upon him. He, he was advanced or approached by him. He corresponded to him. He accepted and received from him and agreed, with what he was given. And he was accepting that with approval. He was shown the favor, or to show favor. And it's very interesting how you can connect, all of this. So the next word is وَبِالْآخِرَاتِ. Okay, وَبِالْآخِرَاتِ. This has the word akhir, and then it also has the rati, It's so strange how akhirati could also mean, the last day. For me, it's what I see. وَبِالْآخِرَاتِ. Like, and what happens after the last day? Of course, in it, we also have the hereafter. So the last day, akhir, rati, the last day or night, the last day. And then what happens after the last day? Okay, so before you, and they believe in the hereafter. So it is actually, I'm going to give you the root letters. Alif, kha, ra. To go backwards. Okay, retreat, recede, retire, hold back, delay, postpone, defer, last back part of a thing, or another, or other, or second. So the second part is actually telling you about the second life. Okay, so what's the first life or the first death? So that was the first death. The first life is the first life, right? The second life is the everlasting life, or to believe in another life, right? So this resurrection that will occur to all of, all that was created is another, it's another, it's you being created again. Another time that you are being created or reproduced, or whatever you want to say, right? So you're going to be, it's going to happen to you another time. And it's the second life, and it's the last back part of a thing. So akhirati. Okay, so it's the end of this life and the beginning of the other life, right? So it's the end of this life, and it's what? It's held back. So this, afterlife is being held back. It's being delayed by Allah. It exists, right? But it's being postponed by Allah until the hour upon which He will go ahead and, propose. And it's to go backwards. So how is it also to go backwards? It is not, really advancing anymore. It's eternal. You understand? It's going to be eternal now. It's at a halt in the sense that time will just be forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You understand? It's to retreat, recede, retire. So you are basically, you're retiring from this, you are retiring from this life and, this test that you're going through. You're retiring from this test. Allahu Akbar. And in the hereafter, meaning they, hum. Yukinuna. What is that? Firmly believe. What is the root letters? Ya, khaf, nun. Meaning certainty, surely, of a certainty, to be sure, certain, obvious, to a certain, one who is certain. Okay. One who feels and knows and believes that, okay, there's definitely something, after this life. You understand? Allahu Akbar. So now we're only on ayah number 5, or on surah number 2. MashaAllah. أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. What does أولئك mean? Again, it means those. Okay. Ala. Okay. Ein, lam, ya. Meaning preposition on, upon, at, under, against, provided, so that in respect, before, against, according to, for the sake of, to, above, in spite of, near. Okay. So all those who, are praying, and all those whom are supplicating, and all those whom certainly believe in the Akhirah, all those whom are believing in the books that came before, and the one that they have. So the one that they have and those that came before, this is what Allah is saying about them. They are, according to these root letters, they are the ones who are most certainly being provided. They, upon them is the guidance, right? And also, it's so funny. I see before as well. So it's almost like, it's going to be strange, but of course Allah knew. So, okay. Anyhow, I'm going to move on to the next word. Or on the word, now the next word is hudan, a guidance. It says this word comes from ha, dal, yah. Okay, to guide, direct to the way, take, follow right way, course, rightly guided, directed a way, course, method, mode, manner of conduct, a gift. We already did this. Okay, so it's pretty much, I'm just going back. Those are on guidance. Min again means from. Rabbihim. Okay, Rabbihim rah bah ba. From who? The Lord, the Master, the the collector, the possessor, the owner, the ruler, the increaser, the complete, the one who brings up, the regulator, the guardian, the provider, the sustainer, the perfecter, the rewarder, the caretaker, the creator, the maintainer, the reposer of properties. Pardon me. And that's from your Rab. That was just all of the meanings from before of of the attributes of the Lord. Well, not all of them, but some of them. It's a lot. Wa ulaika, again, and those, humul muflihun. So humu means again hum, what's it called? They. Muflihuna are the successful ones. Fa muflihun comes from fa lam ha. Okay. Cut, slit, crack, split, fissure, furrowed, plow, cultivate, agriculture, till the ground, to prosper, be successful, attain, acquire, become fortunate, happy, become independent, permanence, lastingness, duration. Allahu Akbar are the successful ones. You know what? This is absolutely amazing. Cut, slit, crack, split, fissure. You know what? Even though this is like the last example I really give, but the ground is split, what comes out of the ground, right? You have oil, right? You have minerals. You have certain types of markets, right? That are of elements that come from when you go through the cracks of the earth, or you're cutting through what's called the constructions of the earth, or I don't know, I'm just saying constructions of the earth. You're constructing through the earth by cutting it, or you're it's like even the people who might have oil, but I don't want to even really go that far. The people that might have minerals, or in terms of those who have the lands. And what it really says here is agriculture. You understand? And those who till the ground, to prosper, be successful, attain, acquire. But look what it says. It says to become fortunate and happy. How many of you know people who are in the agriculture, who have farms and are just living this simple life of agricultural and farming, and in that type of industry, that is just happy. Like they have family, and they're just they're just not in this crazy what basically the rest of the majority of the world is doing. Maybe even, they might be, they could be, but I don't, I'm just separating those who are on that type of a life. And it's just to when the meanings is to become fortunate, happy. And it's true, when you are an agriculture, you're in an agriculture department, you're a farmer, you really are independent, because your dependency really relies, as a human being, your dependency really relies on food. You understand? Your dependency is on food to survive. That's the whole markets of the world. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're, a stockbroker, if you're, I don't know what it is that you want to go yourself and say was on the upper, ranks of whatever. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, because even the wealthiest and even the, lesser fortunate, really, even like calling them lesser fortunate, even the ones who don't possess, along the lines of that, the, let's just say the rich and the poor, they are all poor when it comes to the dependency on food. So that food is a huge, 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 huge. Okay, I don't know up to where. I don't know up to where this thing paused the recording, but I don't have a clue. But I am having an overnight study. So that's what I will be doing, inshallah. I'm continuing. I don't know how long I've been broadcasting for. I believe it was. Anyways. I brought my pillow and my blankie. I'm in the prayer room with my Lord says He is near to me, so with Allah near. Bye. وباليوم آخر وما هم بمؤمنين. So they're not believers at all. Ayah number 9 of Surah Baqarah. يخدئون, they seek to deceive Allah. It comes from the root letters khadal ain, to hide, conceal, double or fold, deceive or outwit, refrain or refuse. So they also refrain from Allah, and they want to refrain from Allah and refuse it, relinquish, to be in little demand of, deviate from the right course, resist, unyield, incompliant, turn away, and behave proudly. Wow. Wow. I'm saying wow to all of these things that are things you need to watch out for. And people, those who hide, conceal, double fold, meaning to face, fake, right? They are deceptive, or, you say pretending, again, that falls into fake, impressing, to enter variant state or condition. Variant state or condition. So they're not really, I guess, in a solid state of mind or condition at all times. They're just varying in state and conditions. Refrain or refuse, relinquish, to be little demand of, deviate from the right course. Resist, unyield, uncompliant, turn away, and behave proudly. Oh, okay, but so they seek to deceive. So Allah is telling you, how is it that they are off the, like, how do they become off the path, and how are they seeking to deceive? Like, how, what is their personality traits like? So these are all the words that I meant, and all the behaviorisms of a person who is a deceiver. They seek to deceive Allah. وَالَّذِينَ, and those who believe. Okay, so it's not just Allah they're seeking to deceive, it's also those who believe.